Did
I think
oh
there's a time limit.
oh okay. Yeah.
Okay. Taiwan has embarked on this, that they are just expanding the nuclear reactors. Vietnam has signed contracts with Russia and Japan for building 4 nuclear reactors, and this is happening, at least in the case of Russian nuclear reactors. Malaysia and Indonesia are not serious about this. This may not happen this year or next year, but especially in the case of Indonesia, because they are running out of
Yeah.
oil, they have
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
do something. And in many other parts of the world, such as India, when they are facing a huge demand for energy, while they are concerned about environmental factors, and also they are concerned about importing a huge amount of energy because of cost and also political
Yeah.
liability. So you see that there is a movement toward that. So in Asia, I believe that we are heading towards a community where there will be many more nuclear energy reactors. In other parts of the world, it is not really that fast. In Europe, it is basically
Slowing
very
down.
slow.
Is it because of Chernobyl?
That's because of Chernobyl. The other thing is that because they have access to cheap energy, oil, gas, coal.
Oh yeah.
So that's another thing. And therefore, both have actually contributed to just a lack of interest, especially on the part of people to accept nuclear power. But in other parts of the world, say in Asia, I believe it is happening. I suspect that some North African countries, Egypt and Algeria, will also start the program. Turkey has started a program. Iran has an active program in this regard. So Asia at least will surely lead, but other parts of the world, I don't think it's going to be that serious.
Uh, do you think nations like the US will allow all countries to have nuclear technology?
No, actually, the intention of the US is actually A, monopolize the technology, B, just give that technology to a specific number of countries which are on good terms with it. However, this is what the US wants, and there are two things that A, there are other suppliers of technology in Europe, in Russia, Japan, South Korea, and even China will soon become a supplier of technology. It is a supplier, but in terms of smaller reactors, experimental one. Two, many other countries which are interested are not actually developing their own technology. For instance, Iran has done a lot of good work. Some other Asian countries, such as India, are just trying to establish their own indigenous type of technology. And therefore, I think no matter what the US government wants, in reality, it cannot actually stop this process. Because it is no longer the only,
Yeah.
possessor of this type of technology.
Last question. Should we impose a regulatory framework in which only some countries are allowed to use nuclear energy?
No, we cannot do that for at least for political reasons, because that means that you first of all decide that who should have it and who should not, and then the question is that why you and why not
Yeah.
another. Therefore, I don't think that it is possible. But in a sense, there is such a thing, because IAEA actually does this because whenever you want to embark on a nuclear power program, you have to advise them, and then they can actually help the process in a sense by just not preventing it, or they can actually damage the process by considering it as a kind of unreliable state history, and therefore ensure that no country will provide you with technology. So this is exists, but beyond that, I don't think it is possible to tell countries that who should have it. But there are natural so-called obstacles, i.e. it is quite expensive to do this, and therefore many countries cannot do it in any case, or they don't have the infrastructure or
Yeah.
the skills.
Okay. Um, yeah. Okay. There's one more. Will smaller nations be more vulnerable because they don't have the resources to procure nuclear technology?
Yes, yes and no. I mean, it depends on what type of a small country you have in mind. If there are small countries which are quite wealthy,
Yeah,
for
like us.
instance, Singapore is in this part of the world, Taiwan. or in Europe, for instance, Switzerland.
Yeah.
But there are small countries which are small and poor, so yes,
they won't be able to get.
Exactly, they cannot afford it to start.
Yeah, so if you can afford it, you won't be left out.
That's the sad story.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah.